एक्चुअली हम लोग पिछली बार बहुत ज़्यादा थे, 80 बच्चा आ चुका था, क्योंकि हम लोग का फाउंडेशन कोर्स 1 मंथ का चला। हाँ 43 बच्चे। हाँ
एग्जैक्ट चल रहा है।
लेकिन तो बॉडी गार्ड नहीं लगता, भी यार निखिल तुम लगते हो, बोलती भी ऐसे ही या थोड़ा मोटे हो गए।
अरे मोटे हो गए, टेंशन मोटा नहीं हो गया। अरे वो क्या बोलते हैं उसको, तो ना लखनऊ में 10 मिनट पीछे मनीष।
लाइव स्टार्ट
सही है।
कोई दिक्कत नहीं।
ओके ओ प्लीज
सेंटर में बैठ गया। सेंटर में गूगल में लगे हुए हैं।
लाइव क्यों कर रखे हैं हम लोग? मैम यहाँ बीच में राजीव और ये वाले
पोस्टर है ना क्लास में वुडन का, स्टील का, 4,000 रुपये में जिम टच करने से।
है यार क्वालिटी।
यहाँ तो क्यों नहीं है सब? यहाँ पे
यहाँ पे 4 नंबर की स्टील लगा हुआ है, वो भी
बिक जाएगा गाड़ी।
सिर्फ 3 मिनट ऐसे होते हैं, तेरे को ले रहे हैं। Just to sit on the dais क्यों हुआ है?
पर्सपेक्टिव स्कूल है ना।
हाँ
The secret of life is not enjoyment, but education through experience. Before we proceed, I request the forum to kindly switch off your cell phones or keep it on silent mode. Thank you. Those who do not think outside the box are easily contained. The secret of vision is to hold all of our energy, not fighting the old but building the new. With this foresight, JK Business School welcomes the PGDM first year students, batch 2023-25.
Good morning, respected individuals, distinguished faculty members, esteemed guests, and the eager new cohort of PGDM first year students. We extend a warm welcome to all of you to this inspiring orientation program here at JK Business School. I am Swati Jaiswal and along with me Anubhav Sinha, and we shall be your anchor for this momentous events. Light is a symbol of brightness and prosperity. As sunlight expels the darkness of night, similarly, blessings bring in our life prosperity and happiness. This ceremony signifies the enlightenment of minds and the pursuit of knowledge. To commence this auspicious occasion, we will light the lamp, a symbol of knowledge and wisdom. This ceremony represents the illumination of minds and the pursuit of knowledge. As we light the lamp, we shall invoke the blessings of Goddess Saraswati. For seeking the choicest blessings of Goddess Saraswati, for the same, I invite SHRI RAJEEV BHADURIA, Sri Partho Pikar, Dr. S.K. Mahapatra, Dean Dr. Richa Daya, Professor Dr. Renu Verma to light the inaugural lamp. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. I request all the dignitaries to take their respected seats on the dais. That was really divine. It added a lot of positivity.
Today, we are privileged to be graced by esteemed guests whose wisdom and guidance will illuminate the path of our new students. Let us take a moment to honor our esteemed guest, Sir Sri RAJEEV BHADURIA, and express our heartfelt gratitude for his presence on this special occasion. Now I request respected Dean Dr. Richa Daya to felicitate our esteemed guest, Sri RAJEEV BHADURIA. Sir Sri Partho Pikar. And member of board, Dr. S.K. Mahapatra. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Before we request our respected Dean, Dr. Richa Daya, to deliver the welcome speech, we would like to introduce her to the audience. Dr. Daya has 2 decades of experience in teaching and leadership. It is our pleasure to welcome our visionary leaders whose guidance has led this institution to great heights. She is a passionate educator in the discipline of marketing with a keen sense of research-based learning pedagogy. She is a doctorate in marketing management. She had published many research papers with quality journals like Springer, Taylor and Francis, and Emerald. Please put your hands together for Dr. Richa Daya, the Dean of JK Business School, to deliver the welcome speech.
The chief guest of the day, SHRI RAJEEV BHADURIA ji, Honorable Members BOG, Shri Partho P. Kar, and Professor Dr. S.K. Mahapatra, esteemed faculty members, staff members, and dear new PGDM first year students. A very warm welcome to each one of you to this special occasion, the Orientation Day of PGDM first year students. It's my honor and privilege to extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to our esteemed chief guest for today's occasion, Mr. RAJEEV BHADURIA. Your presence here today is a source of immense inspiration and delight for all of us. I'm filled with joy and excitement as we gather here today to mark the beginning of a transformative journey for all of you. First and foremost, congratulations on being the part of JK Business School. As you begin this new chapter in your lives, I assure you that you are committed to providing with quality education and all possible platforms that we can provide to you in order to achieve success in your life. The road ahead of you will be one of challenges and opportunities, of self-discovery and growth. Our aim as an institution is not just to impart you knowledge, but also to nurture your skills, creativity, and critical thinking abilities. We believe in fostering an environment that encourages curiosity, collaboration, and innovation. During your time here, you will have the chance to interact with renowned faculty members who are experts in their fields, and they will mentor you, inspire you to excel on the path of success. Moreover, you will be the part of a diverse and vibrant community of students, each with unique experiences, perspectives, which will enrich your own learning journey. The PGDM program is designed to be holistic, encompassing, and not only academic rigor, but real-world experiences through internship, industry interactions, and various extracurricular activities. I encourage you to actively participate in all these activities in order to accomplish your goal, and that is the reason that how this practical training and this theoretical framework will provide you a sound foundation for the future. Remember that you are not just students, you are the torch bearers of the change, the leaders of tomorrow. Be open to new ideas, be receptive to feedback, and be willing to adapt and grow. Remember that every obstacle is an opportunity in disguise, and every setback is a chance to learn and improve. I wish you all a fulfilling and successful journey through this PGDM program. May you make cherished memories, lasting friendships, and emerge as accomplished individuals here. Once again, welcome to our academic fraternity and family. Let's embark on this incredible journey together. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. You have been a constant source of strength for each one of us, and your words always motivate us.
We are privileged to have Professor Dr. S.K. Mahapatra, distinguished member of Board of JK Business School, amongst us today. He held leadership position in reputed corporate organizations as well as management institutions for over more than 3 decades. Please welcome Professor Dr. S.K. Mahapatra to share his valuable insights with our new batch.
Good morning. Esteemed Sri RAJEEV Bhaduria ji, Sri Parthokar ji, Dr. Richa Dahiya, Dr. Enu Burma, and distinguished faculties seated off the dais, staff members of the dais, the PGDM 2 batch, and the BBS, some of the BBS students, and the PGDM 1 new batch, so for whom we have all gathered here today. Professor Richa has already extended a warm welcome to all of you and indicated how the life is going to be ahead. I would also like to congratulate you for beginning an exciting career path, and also congratulate you for choosing this career of management, career in management. I always say a career in management is a career in leadership as well. You start as manager, but you end up as leaders. How early you can transit from a manager to a leader depends on you, depends on how much hard work you actually put in. So many thoughts come across my mind because years ago I was in that place, listening to orientation talks by seniors. But trust me, if I had listened to them very keenly, if I had listened to my faculties very keenly, the fruits I am reaping today, that I am standing before you and giving the same lecture. I hope one day all of you will qualify, will be very proudly standing before the young students and inspiring them with your life's journey as well as with your wisdom. I just want to underline a particular phenomenon that has been, you can say, plaguing the business world for almost a decade now, and there is no end of it. The management pundits call it the VUCA world. V stands for volatility. What is volatility? That means ups and downs are common. You don't know. You see, if you read the newspapers, every day you find, when you look at the stock market chart, you find rise and fall, right? So those who were on top yesterday may not be on the top today, and tomorrow it will change. So there is a lesson here for the company as well as for the individuals. When you look around your friend circle, your senior people, your elder brothers, elder sisters, you also hear from them, अच्छा था, but क्या हो गया, अभी कंपनी में डाउनसाइजिंग हो गया तो हम बाहर आ गए. Do you hear this or not? So what does it mean? Again, volatility. So the volatility affects the company as well as the individual. Now, the ones who survive this volatility are the ones who are prepared for it. At a company level, if you prepare, then the company becomes sustainable. At an individual level, if you prepare, then the individual becomes sustainable. That which you can survive. Because everybody do not lose their job. How come that few people lose their job and few people not only survive, they prosper also. They do well, they get more money, they get higher positions, and they keep growing. And many of such persons who are survivors, in last 1 week I saw a couple of them arriving in this campus and addressing you. The gentleman from Google or the founder of startups, they have all addressed you already, right? And they are survivors. They are not only survivors, they are prospering. They are doing very well, right? So what is that makes that difference? Because they prepared for this volatility and they are working for overcoming those volatility. The second letter of VUCA is U. U is uncertainty. What is uncertainty? Uncertainty is when you cannot predict, you cannot say, you cannot be a Jyotish to say this is going to happen tomorrow. That is uncertainty. Normally in management what they do, they prepare models. If you remember your school and college lessons, in mathematics, in statistics, you learned something called probability, right? If you remember, there was a word called probability. What is probability? Probability is you make a prediction that probably this can happen, and the strength of that probability is something which you attach a point to that, right? So this probability was against, why are you predicting? Because you are thinking there are some constants in the environment and there are some variables in the environment. The variable, that is the environmental factors, that may undergo a change, that may undergo a flux. So if that changes, then your solutions will also change, okay? The model in which you will work, that is bound to change. Now in simple terms, this is called, how do you do that? There is a mathematical way of doing it. People call it learning the algorithms, right? That means you log all the data and then you do some mathematical computation to find out. I'm saying in very layman's language, simple language. You do some mathematical computation and you say, okay, it is leading to this conclusion. Like you solve mathematical problems, right? Initially it appeared very difficult, but then gradually, step by step, you come to an answer and then you say, Eureka, I have got the answer. Similarly, probability models tell you that which path to take, okay? And that path is going to help you. Now these days, these are the days of computers, right? Not only humans are doing this computing, humans are only preparing these algorithms, computers also helping humans in these things. That is why, you need to understand when in the class your teacher tells you that there is no escape from big data, there is no escape from computing, there is no escape from technology. They are simply meaning this, that the amount of uncertainty that is there, if you want to really come on top of that, it is important for you to take help of computers, to take help of computing technology and master it. I think it is simple if you understand the fundamental. There is a famous book which was written, which came on the stands about I think a decade ago, that was called The Why of Work, right? The Why of Work. किसी भी काम आप करें, अगर आपको पता है मैं क्यों ये काम कर रहा हूँ, अगर आप कन्विंस हो रहे हो ये काम मेरे लायक है और मेरे लिए है, तब आप बड़ा खुशी से with lot of energy and enthusiasm you do that work. अगर आपको पता नहीं, do as you are told, आपको मैंने बताया तो इसलिए आप ये काम कर रहे हैं, होगा कि आपका हार्ट एंड सोल है या नहीं है. Possibility is there, it can go either way, isn't it? So please remember, ये आपके लिए जरूरी है. This is very, very important for you to master these statistics, to master. Next time when you approach your mathematics teacher or your stats teacher or any teacher, because there will be a little bit of all these numbers and the computing, the predictions, the models in all your subjects. So don't get scared, right? Think that they are your friends. I have to adapt to it, right? When the corporate people come, ask them questions. They will tell you how important these things are. And if you can master, it's not that you should become somebody like Sundar Pichai, right? Or the chief of Google or a Microsoft. You don't have to. At this stage, you are not expected to be at that level. You are expected to be at the base level. And that is not difficult. These 2 years that you will spend here, your teachers will work with you. You are not alone. Please remember, none of you are alone. Your mentors, your faculty, they are very much with you. And together you will learn. So don't be afraid. Don't miss the class also, right? And then coming to the third letter, that is C. C stands for complexity. Okay? What is complexity? If you today see the number of products in the market, too many products. Number of services, too many services. Just when you open your mobile, you see almost an ocean of apps, isn't it? App. ये ऐप क्या करेगा, खाना ले आएगा, वो ऐप क्या करेगा, किताब खरीद सकते हैं, उसमें क्या कर सकते हैं, ट्रैवल बुकिंग कर सकते हैं, है ना? So पहले the options that were available to customers, today the options have opened up. I've just given you an example of service, but then products, let us say, सबसे simple product क्या है? Agricultural product. ठीक है, आज से 200 साल पहले, 100 साल पहले लोगों को पता था, यहाँ पे we have to plant rice or we have to plant wheat, rice करना है, चावल बनाना है, गेहूं बनाना है, बाजरा बनाना है, दाल बनाना है, इसका कुछ लिमिटेड था और वो प्रोडक्ट्स प्रोड्यूस हो जाता था, उसको बेचते थे. But today if you look at the agricultural products, आप सब छोटे छोटे पैक में खरीदते हो, है ना? What is this? That thing which is produced in the field is getting processed differently. किसी में थोड़ा नमक डाल देते हैं, किसी को थोड़ा भुजी बना देते हैं, उसको पैक कर देते हैं, आपको देते हैं. तो वही चीज आप खरीदते हो. But it is no longer that rice, it is no longer that wheat, right? So आप एक different kind of product, and if you look at the number of products, too many. So whether it is services or it is product, the complexity have increased, right? So think, तो to prepare for that, आपका पढ़ाई में भी थोड़ा complexity होगा, आपको individually भी उसको देखना पड़ेगा. ऐसा कोई simple solution नहीं है that I will study this much, I will go through this channel and then I will become eligible or I am ready to deal with all kinds of products and services. हो नहीं सकता. So accordingly you have to study, you have to prepare, you have to participate in different programs. So आपको आंख और कान खुला रखना पड़ेगा. Or to deal with this, you have to have a question called creativity and innovativeness. आपके अंदर creativity है, innovation, तो आप नया product बना सकते हैं. ठीक है, जो नया product बना है उसको best utilize कर सकते हैं. Right? Please remember. So in a very simple way, to deal with VOCA world, it is easy as well as it is difficult. Right? Then the fourth letter क्या रहेगा? A stands for ambiguity. What is ambiguity? It is confusion. Imagine a cricket stadium full of galleries full. वहाँ पे लोग तरह-तरह का बात कर रहे हैं. ठीक है? They are commenting about a particular player. But can you figure out who is saying what? Very difficult. You can only say what you are saying, but it's very difficult, right? So there is so much of confusion there that it is very difficult to know. So imagine today's marketplace. Okay, today's world is like that. There is so much of confusion prevailing. So how do I steer through this confusion? How do I break through this confusion? See things clearly, perceive clearly, right? Listen very clearly. So that means आपके कुछ skills है, soft skills वगैरह है, उसको आपको अच्छा से develop करना पड़ेगा. You have to develop in such and fine tune it such a manner that कितना भी crowd क्यों ना हो, आपको सब सुनाई देगा, आपको सब समझ में आएगा, आपका आंख वो चीज देख पाएगा जो दूसरे नहीं देख पा रहे हैं. दूसरे सिर्फ क्राउड देख रहे हैं, लेकिन आपको एक स्पॉट दिख रहा है, उसमें एक प्लेयर है या एक सपोर्टर है, आप उसका बिहेवियर दिख रहा है. सो व्हेन यू आर एबल टू डू दैट, यू गेट इनटू दैट लेवल, दैट मीन्स यू हैव मास्टर्ड एम्बिग्विटी. ओके, मैं एकदम सिंपल एग्जांपल देके आपको बता रहा हूँ. व्हेन यू अप्लाई इट इनटू द बिजनेस कॉन्टेक्स्ट, यू विल सी द कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी इन इट्स कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी, राइट? लेकिन ये याद रखना बहुत जरूरी है कि दिस आई सेड, this VUCA, this particular French is today plaguing the world. They are not able to find out. Why? Because at a company level it's difficult, and company is nothing but composed of individuals like you, managers like us, right? And if we are able to do it, if we are able to crack that code, then the company has been able to crack that code. So a company which fails is because its individuals, its leadership, its managers, they have failed. If a company that is succeeding and sustaining, that means its managers, its individuals who are working there, they are also succeeding greatly. Please remember that. That means the journey will always be starting with you and ending with you. I wish all of you a long career ahead. There are many things I can talk about, but today is not my day. We will be meeting and we will be talking about it step by step, right? And remember, your teachers are with you. Your staff here, all of them are with you. If you only have a positive mind, or open mind, positive and open mind, then there are no limits for you to learn. There are no limits for you to master this VUCA world. I wish you all the best, and once again welcome you to the portals of JKBS. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your motivating words.
Now it's time to draw inspiration from an accomplished corporate leader. He's exposed and experienced to working with big and complex corporates. He started his career from NTPC as a human resource management trainee in 1987, and he rose to the level of head of HR of Northern Region Allahabad in 1990. Furthermore, he moved to Reliance ADA Group from 1995 to 2011 as a Vice President and Head HR in Reliance Infrastructure Mumbai, and then Group President HR in Reliance ADA Group Mumbai. He was also whole-time Director HR on board in Jindal Steel and Power Limited in 2011. Furthermore, he has been the founder and managing partner at Ebullient, a human resource management and learning and development outfit, to creating a business-centric HR systems, as also redefining the organizational learning and leadership paradigms. Besides using the creating ways of coaching, mentoring senior executives, especially with a futuristic perspective. Most importantly, as part of his mission to make 400 million youth of India employable by 2025, he has co-founded the startup mytransform.com, a world-class process-based career counseling and learning platform which uniquely connects learning to work life through artificial intelligence and machine learning, which helps their students to self-explore the widest possibility it holds. And today, rather than be inhibited and limited by the obvious few occupations conventionally known so far, his strength lies in creating a business-centered HR systems and processes, and this has been exemplified in his leading several national as well as international cross-cultural mergers and acquisitions. As such, he exemplifies a unique blend of HR business partnering, consulting, coaching, academic acumen, which make him relevant as a human resource cum business thought and action leader, especially in the turbulent of the post-Lehman times, further by the current COVID crisis. Today, we are honored to have Sir Shri RAJEEV Bhaduria. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Bhaduria, as he will take the stage to enlighten us with valuable perspectives and knowledge.
अगर है तो ठीक है. If you have a cordless mic, I think that will be better. Fine. If not, better. No problems. Let it be. You have it? Okay. A very good morning to all of you. Most beautiful ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. There should be some energy. There's so much of youthful energy here. And it's not to be seen. You're sitting like, something, very disciplined, very compliant. You never compliant on the field, huh? Are you as quiet when you go out of this class? Then be yourself. Right? This is your first day. Most of you, of course, the first year batch, the ones who are joining. So the first thing that I noticed was that you people appear to be very serious. Huh? Are you all serious? Yes or no? I want some interaction. That's why I wanted a mic, that I could have been there so that I can catch up with you guys. Keep the energy on, first thing, because this is not something that you've come to a prison. You have come to a place where your mind has to expand. Your evolutionary, expansive, integrated mind, it has to touch those vistas of triumph, much beyond here. So this is a very great opportunity for you, and this is the start, it's the first day of your long journey. So just shout on top of your voice, let the walls come down. Say anything. Come on. Good morning once again, and let the building float fall down. Come on. कुछ नहीं, ये तो कोई दम नहीं है. Come on. That's better. और करो सब लोग. Right. He is the best, he is the winner. So stand up, I think, and give him a big ovation. Good. I consider him to be the leader. People who can shout their voice out. I mean, not at the walls, of course, with reason. So friends, leave aside that, jokes apart. The point is that these are really, as Dr. Mahapatra said, these are VUCA times. And after the COVID, there is another term that's added to VUCA. There's a BANI term, B-A-N-I. And it actually creates what is the impact on us. Because of the world that is around, there is technological disruption, there is market turbulence. And so this is a very difficult time for people in the management field, as students or as teachers, as managers, as leaders, as organizations, because as he said rightly, that there's volatility, uncertainty, complexity and ambiguity all around. So therefore the impact that it has left on people is like, your mind is very brittle, you tend to be very anxious, you tend to be non-linear in changes, Non-linear change ka matlab kya hota hai? What is a kind of, is a change which is not linear, which is not straight line. You cannot project the past into the future. Linearly extrapolate नहीं कर सकते हो. पहले क्या होता था? When he was talking about the probable times, days of probability. We have moved to the world of possibility, by the way. Now, probability में क्या होता था? कि कुछ चीजें, these are the variables, एक के constant मान लिया, and you can relate to it. You know, you can have a cause and effect relationship. K upon V is equal to T, P upon V is equal to T. You can have with K constant. Problem क्या हो गई है? With so much of turbulence in the market and so much of distortion and disruption of technology, there is no K which is constant today. Everything is changing. And it is not changing just a mere larva into a butterfly. Butterfly is not just a clean larva. Or butterfly is not just larva with wings. Butterfly is substantially different from the larva. It's transformation, not just mere change. So this is very, very important because there's non-linearity in change. You know, you cannot recognize a butterfly from a larva, can you? जब horse carriages थे, you know, then if you would have asked a person when he was living in 19th century, you know, or 20th century start of it, you would have asked, what do you want? Transportation के लिए आपको क्या चाहिए? और horse carriages थे उस समय, bullock carts थे, तो क्या मांगते लोग? I would have wanted a faster horse, more efficient horse carriage. But just 5 years or 6 years from there, 1900, you have the car. They could have never in their dream thought that I would like to have a car, because car was non-linearly related to the linearity of the bullock cart and the horse carriage. You get that point? That's very important because this is the starting point of yours, and you have to actually understand this brittleness, anxiety that's there in all our minds and hearts. This is non-linearity which is happening as change. Non-linearity is absolutely something which you can't understand because you never know whether things will go forward, backwards, crosswards. How are they linked? Crosswards, backwards, again forwards. So the point is that you have to understand that change is going to be non-linear. And this change, non-linear change, is almost transformation. That means organization principles, organization structures, all organizational constructs, और human beings के root perspective change होंगे. We all live in a world with some belief system, na? That this is right, wrong, this is what happens, these are the knowledge systems that you have. But in a context where non-linearity is happening, it means that there is no relationship between what is happening, the cause and the effect. What causes, how it causes. There are so many variables, so that complexity is so much and the magnitude is so great that it becomes incomprehensible. That is I of Bani. So brittleness, anxiety, non-linear changes and incomprehensibility. So now you will say that I have come to a management school. I have come to understand, comprehending what is going to happen, how are you going to manage, what is it that I am going to learn at the end of the 2 years. That should be the question in your mind or not. Yes or no? Come on, interact with me. I'm not like your professors. I can't just keep on talking, you know, monologues. I can't because I have to relate to you. So I'll answer your questions. That's easier for me rather than just putting something. I have not prepared any speech. I have not prepared any talk. So you have to know what are you going to do after 2 years. Can anybody tell me what are you going to do after 2 years? Or what do you think you should be doing? Come on, anybody. Interact and somebody from there. बिल्कुल चुपचाप बैठे हुए जो. Come on, somebody says, what do you want to do? Why have you come? Dr. Mahapatra has put a very important point for you. Why of things? Why are you here? How would you do it? And what would you achieve? These are the 3 questions that should be uppermost in your mind before even I talk. Why, what and how? Or why, how and what? Why are you here? Come on. You're there without purpose? Anybody, there are no, by the way, there are no right or wrong answers for this, you know. Yes, come on, get up. What is it? Okay, prove your personality. Prove your communication. If I were to say that your personality is absolutely fine, you know, there are no great human beings. Remember this in life. There are no great human beings. Being human itself is great enough. I don't see anything wrong with your personality. You are a human being. You are a youngster. You must be in your 20s, early 20s. What do you mean? I'm not saying your answer is your why. Okay, that's good. That's very nice. So you want to improve your communication, right? Okay. What will communication skill do to you? Why do you want to improve that? If you're comfortable in Hindi, please go ahead. There is no barrier. जरूरी नहीं कि हम अंग्रेजी में बात करें. Right. Managerial skills, correct? Now, managerial skills are relevant when things are going stable and there is linearity, there is predictability. Managers क्या करते हैं? Who is a good manager? तो अच्छा बच्चा क्या होता है? Student आज के education में, I'm not talking the new education policy. I think I'm a product of an old education policy, so most of you are. It's just new education policy. Just got into it. So the important point is that जो pattern follow करते हैं, SOP, standard operating process, वो अच्छे मैनेजर माने जाते हैं. हम लोगों ने जब मैनेजमेंट किया था तो हमको ये पढ़ाया जाता था, फॉलो अ प्रोसेस. आज प्रोसेस कौन सा फॉलो करेंगे? when you don't know the process, you will change the next day. Yet life technology is so very short. ये technology आते नहीं है कि outdated हो जाती है. And you know why is it happening? It's not the technology that is to be blamed. The shelf life of an idea is getting even shorter. Thank you. I think this is better. Hello. I'll hand it. You switch it on? Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? I think it's not making a difference. It's on, but the voice is not there.
This is for recording.
Acha, this is for recording. Okay. I'm sorry. So, where was I? Management. So, SOP. The days of management today are over. What Dr. Mahapatra was telling, this VUCA world has taken away the very basis of the theories of management. Like balanced scorecard, you'll study Sigma, Lean Sigma, Six Sigma, exactitude, assembly line operation, standardization. Gone are the days of that. तो सारे मैनेजमेंट जो आपने किताबें पढ़ेंगे पुरानी, be careful when you read them and when you are taught. It's a very, very different world together, taken together and the context of today. So, आप जब बोलते हैं कि purpose आपको define करना है, that you have to be what? At the end of the 2 years when you go out from here, what should you be is important for you to know. Or what are you likely to be? And that will depend on why are you here. So individually you have to determine, I think Dr. Mahapatra gave me a cue to speak, that why of it you have to understand. Why do you want to do what you do? So determine your why, how and what. Right? And how will you do it? You will have to, when the world is unpredictable, what do you do? You cannot plan, right? What you can do, you can prepare yourself. You can prepare yourself for various options. When the world is unpredictable, you cannot plan because linearity khatam hai, right? And therefore you have to then, in that context, keep yourself prepared. So one of the, please sit down. Thank you very much, by the way. Thank you. It takes a lot of courage for the first day to stand up and say something. You know why? हम लोगों का क्या problem होती है? 3 तरह की problems होती हैं, which this gentleman has overcome. He has overcome. No, let it be. I'm fine. Because sitting there, I'm not a person who can deliver a speech. I want to relate to you, and that will be more relevant to you. इसने 3 fears overcome किए हैं बच्चे ने. You know what is the first fear? Fear of failure. I might say something wrong and absurd, and I may become a laughing stock. Right? The other fear which he has overcome is that what will others think of me? What will be the judgment of others? And the third thing is own cynicism that I don't know what to say. Good luck and keep doing it. This is what you have to overcome. You have to overcome this fear of judgment by others, fear of failure, because in a time when you have to do a lot of innovation, you have to use design thinking, you have to use your right part of the brain. Left part is the scientific brain, the logical brain. And the prefrontal cortex is the one that determines your rationality. That has a limited efficacy. And I'll talk to you when I'll talk to you about AI and ML and all that stuff. But this is something fundamentally right, that you have to be not a manager who follows a process. You should be devising a process. You should not be afraid that utopia आगे होगा कि dystopia होगा. You all understand what is dystopia and utopia? यूटोपिया बोलते हैं जनरली जब दुनिया बिल्कुल सब कुछ राम राज्य हो जाएगा. लोग कहते हैं ये होना नहीं है. यूटोपिया आजकल नहीं हो सकता है. सो मच ऑफ वॉर एंड फाइटिंग, देयर सो मच ऑफ प्रॉब्लम. हाउ कैन वी ओवरकम दिस क्लाइमेट क्राइसिस? सो वी कांट डू दैट. सो डिस्टोपिया ही होगा. डिस्टोपिया मीन्स ऑपोजिट ऑफ यूटोपिया. बट आई से नो, देयर आर प्रॉब्लम्स, but your capacity to solve the problem is also increasing. तो आप अपने आप को इतना strengthen करिए. Because I've told you there are no great humans. Being human itself is great enough. You all have the individual capacity, you all have the wisdom to change your life. Change the destiny of this world. Everybody says ना कि दुनिया को बदलने चलें आप, अपने को बदलिए पहले. No, I'll say yes. हम दुनिया को बदलेंगे, अपने आप को भी बदलेंगे. That's fine. So you have the power to change the world. Imagine there was one Steve Jobs who changed the world. There was one person who really changed the world, that yes, there could be something which is, people don't even know what they want. This is the most important message of how today, this whole education system, this whole pattern of management, days are over. This is what is called business leadership. You have to lead, and not lead by having followers. Everybody has to grow together. This is the time when this whole godlike technology, the most powerful technology ever known to mankind, is available to you. Well, there are bad and good points of it, and I will talk about the bad also. By the time, how much time do I have? No. You know what happened, why I asked this question? Ek jagah, there was something that was, talk was being delivered, ki how long should I speak? So he says, you can speak for as long as possible, but we will go out of this room at 5 o'clock. So tell me the time when you want to go out of. Or no, there are other speakers. No, maybe sir 20 minutes? Fine, because I think I've got a point, because I had nothing prepared, but talking to you and seeing you people, I think I feel encouraged. And especially you have encouraged me. There should be everybody who should have the courage. Don't be so, because you have to be wild. Wild not in the sense of being in the jungle, but wild enough, passionate enough to do things and be ready, bubbling with energy. Don't ever think that, those days are over. Chuchap bache baito, finger on your lips. That's wrong. That culture won't work, because you don't know whether keeping finger on the lip is right or wrong. Aaj moral values are being redefined. There is a whole sense of, philosophy, there's a whole kind of idea of ethics, morality. They're all undergoing change. So keep it to yourself that way, right? So this is most important, that, your business leadership would mean that you have to use your right part of your brain, your creativity, parallel thinking. You have to be comfortable with ambiguity. I mean, people will say, how can I be comfortable with ambiguity? Because hum log sab certainty ki taraf jate hain. Get my point? Keep your mind open and be available to change. It is told that those who think that they are learners, जो सोचते हैं कि हम learn कर सकते हैं और हमें learner रहना है lifelong, whether I am there, Professor Saab is there, he's at, plus 80 years of age, he considers that he has to learn still. I have to learn a lot. You guys have to continue to learn. Those who are learners will inherit this earth. Those who are learners will inherit this earth. Those who think that I am learned, मैं सब कुछ सीख चुका हूं, they will inherit the earth or the planet which will not exist. They'll have a lot of money, they'll have probably a lot of things, but no planet to use it. This is important in today's world. You have to constantly learn and learn around a lot of things. Most important is how do you sustain this world. You continue this world, not sustain. Sustain is a wrong term. Because this world should not be sustained. दुनिया आज की इतनी अच्छी नहीं है कि इसको sustain किया जाए. What do you sustain? You sustain only good things, na? Do you think this world is worth sustaining? I'll tell you why. This is the most inequitable world today. दुनिया की human history में, civilization में, इससे गंदा वक्त, inequitable distribution of wealth was not known to humankind. You know how many people, there are 6 people on your fingertips, you can count them. They own the wealth which is equivalent to 50% of the world GDP. This is the state of your world. You want to sustain this world? It cannot, it's not sustainable anyways. It can't be sustained. You have to talk about collective prosperity also. There has come a point. And moreover, what has this world done to you? This whole process of 6 people getting richer and richer and richer, it has actually at the expense of your environment. Today, and this I am telling you because of this VUCA world, this whole, this whole Bani situation, non-linearity, incomprehensibility, ambiguity. This is the reality. Complexity is so much. So, and you all have to learn your lessons. How will you manage a business which you do not know how to manage? This is your real problem. You do not know, you will be required to manage businesses which probably you will not know how to manage because of shelf life of technology getting shortened, business processes, business models changing every now and then, and shelf life of an idea is so short that it will change every moment. So this is a very different world. So you have to understand that this world cannot be sustained. Inequitability, and you know what is the climate crisis? सबको पता है climate crisis है? क्या है climate crisis? Come on now, all of you have to be like him. Come on. Huh? Yes, come on, you're right. Yes, that's true. Global warming, what else? What is the real cause of the problem? Tell me. Root cause क्या है? Pollution. Huh? Yes, deforestation, use of resources. You know, the best way to understand, it's such a complex topic, everybody will have his or her own view. कुछ कहेगा plastic नहीं use करेंगे, कुछ कहेंगे natural resources को overuse किया हुआ है हमने. There are carbon footprints, there are greenhouse gases. The real problem that has to be understood is, you know what is the greenhouse gas concentration today around the world? Anybody? There's one lesson that you have to start learning today. GHGs, greenhouse gases, the concentration today is nearly 490 parts per million. Kitna hai? I didn't hear from all of you, come on. Remember it. That's very important for you, not for me. You will live in this world which will have 590 parts per million very soon, if things don't get handled well. You know? Now what does 490 mean, you will say? You know, for last 50 million years, ever since the 5th extinction event on Earth, greenhouse gas concentration was between 150 to 300 parts per million only. And you know when was 300 parts per million? It was only in 1950, as late as 1950. It is in the last 70 odd years that we have increased it from 300 to 490. Sustainability limit kya thi? 300. We have already crossed that threshold, which means the world cannot sustain itself at 490 parts per million. आज अगर आप zero emission कर दें, zero emission आज कर दें, the world is not going to solve the problem of climate crisis. There would be these water events. Just see the hottest July known to human civilization. I was surprised. It was not like it never happened in India last 20 years, 30 years, ever known to human civilization, the hottest July all over the world. And there will be many such events. Their frequencies are increasing, their intensity is getting from bad to worse. That means the climate crisis is for real. 490 parts per million किसी तरह से आप sustain नहीं कर सकते. So sustain word को हमको use नहीं करना चाहिए. I cannot sustain this world which has 490 parts per million of greenhouse gases. I cannot or should not be sustaining a world which has 6 people owning 50% of the world GDP. दो ही reasons की वजह से आपको नहीं करना है. बाकी तो सब problem, social, economic problem, violence, terrorism, AI, and social media, there are different problems. But for these two reasons, even zero emission आज हो जाए आपका, तो भी आप sustain नहीं कर सकते इस world को. तो करना क्या है? Reverse करना है global warming को. अगर reverse करना है आपको, तो greenhouse gas concentration को reversal करना है. Nobody teaches us this. Even the United Nations, there are COP26 in Glasgow, 27 in Cairo abhi recently, nobody is talking of that, except a few Nobel laureates have recently gotten together, and there's one Paul Hawken. He has started a project called Project Drawdown. This I would expect all of you to Google now onwards. Project Drawdown, D-R-A-W-D-O-N-N. If you can just note it down somewhere, please. Or somebody can then survey Project Drawdown, D-R-A-W-D-O-N-N. WN. So What does this mean? What is project drawdown? What is drawdown? Drawdown is that moment in future when the greenhouse gas concentration starts to reverse itself. This is something very important, most important question to all of you. And there are this project drawdown freely available. You can see website. Every good thing come free, you know, like air and water, actually. We have polluted the air and water. And it was available free, of course. Now that we have to have distilleries, we have to have clean air, you know, we used to have filters. It was available by nature free of cost to us. And so is project drawdown, by the way. You just have to Google it. 100 ways to reverse global warming. It's the best understanding you can have of what is this environment crisis, because this is the biggest crisis today. It's an existential crisis for us. We are headed towards the 6th extinction event. The 5th happened 50 million years ago. जिसको प्रलय बोलते हैं ना, in some form that must have been there, of that format. So, why I wanted to tell you this, you know, why I came from there to here. This is the context is very severe, not to make you fearful, because I've told you, whatever be the problems, we have the competence to solve the problem. So it's not utopia or dystopia. I've heard a word called protopia. That means problems can be as big as possible, but as I said, you know, being human is great enough. You don't have to become a great human being. None of us are great. Being human itself, everybody is great. So you have capacity to solve the problem. Your potential is that much. So in these 2 years, you will have to explore this potential. How will I reverse global warming should be the first problem of your, this thing should be the first cause of concern for you. You may be taught, not taught, you have to do self-learning. You know, none of us knows right now how to do it, whether it will happen. There is fortunately technology available today. Now let's talk of the larger context. There is a person called E.O. Wilson. He is from Harvard, and he wrote a book, in fact, and he's a sociobiologist. He wrote something on what are the 3 problems of humanity today. 3 problems क्या हैं आपको जो solve करना है. Very interesting. एक वो कहता है 3 problems हैं आज की तारीख में. VUCA world, BANI world, this whole, you know, shelf life of technology, shelf life of an idea being short, everything is there. But वो कहते हैं 3 problems कौन सी हैं, किसकी वजह से problems हैं. रूट कॉज एनालाइज करना पड़ेगा ना, कोई प्रॉब्लम को पता होना पड़े तब हम सॉल्व कर सकते हैं. कैपेसिटी तो है हमारे पास, बट यू हैव टू आइडेंटिफाई द प्रॉब्लम, यू हैव टू describe or define the problem, then only you find a solution. In fact, people say that defining the problem well is half solved. If you are able to, that's the solution itself. 3 problems E.O. Wilson कहता है, there are, one is Paleolithic emotion. हमारे जो mental emotional है हम लोग emotional ज़्यादा हैं, rational कम है. There's nothing bad in it, by the way. Machine is only rational, it's not emotional. So we are superior to AI. Because we are 96% emotional, only 4% of rationality is there with us. So right now, we are like monkeys with nukes. हम लोग एक तरह से बंदर हैं सब के सब, in our temperament, taste, and emotional content, handling nuclear bombs. Nuclear bombs तो है ना दुनिया में ना? They said that people. तो problem कहाँ से आती है हमारी? वो ये होती है, we have Paleolithic mindset. यानी we take decisions not on the grounds of rationality, not on facts. We find facts once we have taken a decision through our emotional mind, which is the limbic brain. We take up, how many of you are from biology or have you read something about the brain and psychology? Anybody? What is the limbic brain? Is the emotional brain, जो बड़ा brain होता है. 4% of your brain is the neofrontal cortex, which is the rational brain. हम humans जो हैं बोलते हैं ना बहुत rational हैं. None of us are. We are all emotional beings. We decide what is good for us and then find reasons to support that. That's the reality. That's how human biology works. We may not, and this is something we fundamentally understand. Paleolithic emotions है हमारे. तो हम सोसाइटी में रिएक्शन कैसे करते हैं, इसीलिए लड़ाई झगड़े, outrage, animosity, friendliness, love, everything good and bad happens because we are emotional beings, right? That's point number 1. The other problem is कि हमारे जो institutions हैं, we have medieval institutions. Medieval मतलब आज भी हमारे मध्यकालीन इतिहास के जो सरकार कहो, सोसाइटी कहो, institutions कहो, we are all still outdated. राइट? और थर्ड प्रॉब्लम का रीजन क्या है? कौन सा कॉज है? गॉड लाइक टेक्नोलॉजी. लेट मी रिपीट, पेलियोलिथिक इमोशंस, हम लोग इमोशनल्स हैं, वी आर नॉट रैशनल. कि हम न्यूक्लियर बॉम्ब को यूज करेंगे, नहीं करेंगे, कब कर सकते हैं, नोबडी नोज. कब वो पुतिन के दिमाग में आ जाए बात की, वो डिस्पाइट हम लोग सोचते रहे कि बकवास है, नहीं करना चाहिए, बट ही इज वेरी जस्टिफाइड इन कीपिंग द यूक्रेन वॉर ऑन. नाउ यू कैन इमेजिन, इज इट नॉट एन एग्जांपल ऑफ पेलियोलिथिक इमोशन? It's only an emotional decision with him now. There's no reason why he should have done it. But having done it, he's finding reasons now. Justifying public, हमें resources चाहिए यूक्रेन के, in the future times, that will be the source of AI and all these kind of, those material that I can get and everything. And that's the reason I want to kind of, China will say, मैं इसीलिए जो है, ताइवान को conquer करना चाहता हूँ, because software technology is based on whatever is available in Taiwan. So people will find reasons. But the real problem is that Paleolithic mindset कि हमको तो power बनानी है अपनी, irrational. So Paleolithic emotions, medieval institutions, and God-like technology. जिसके बोलते हैं ना, बंदर के हाथ में nuclear bomb आ गया है. So we are all monkeys with nuclear bombs. We don't know how to handle technology. Is it making sense to you? This is the first root cause analysis of what is the humanity's problem today. अब आपको मैनेजमेंट स्कूल में आ गए, आपको इस इशू को समझना है. आप इमोशनल भी हैं, यू हैव टू हैव दैट इमोशनल कंटेंट, यू हैव टू मैनेज योर IQ ऑल्सो, यू हैव टू मैनेज योर सोशल कोशेंट, यू हैव टू मैनेज योर स्पिरिचुअल कोशेंट, यू हैव टू मैनेज योर फिजिकल कोशेंट. पर अब लोग बोलते हैं नो, पेलियोलिथिक इमोशन, मेडिवल इंस्टीट्यूशंस एंड गॉड लाइक टेक्नोलॉजी को हैंडल करने के लिए आपको और इंटेलिजेंट बनना पड़ेगा. You have to have 6 more intelligence beyond these 4: IQ, EQ, SQ, and PQ. What are these 6? You have to have what is called entrepreneurial intelligence. Aapko, while you are in business school, that's first foremost in your mind. Just bother Richa ma'am about all those marketing fundamentals and everything to develop what is called an entrepreneur in you. Entrepreneur intelligence aapko develop karni padegi, because remember, you cannot plan, you are preparing yourself. So there has to be an overkill of preparation. आपको अपने को over prepare करना पड़ेगा for managing. So IQ, EQ, SQ तो ठीक है. That will be a least common denominator. But you have to develop your entrepreneurial intelligence. You will have to develop your strategic intelligence. This you will study during your management days. What is strategy? What is strategic thinking? What is strategic management? What is strategic quotient or intelligence? In short, your ability to perform and transform simultaneously. Because आपको ट्रांसफॉर्म करना पड़ेगा, फ्रॉम पेलियोलिथिक इमोशंस को डेवलप करना पड़ेगा. यू हैव टू डेवलप योर इमोशनल कोशेंट हायर सो दैट यू बिकम मोर ह्यूमन देन मंकी. वी आर ऑल इनिशियली monkeys and we'll remain monkeys. There's nothing wrong in remaining monkeys, but you must learn how to manage this monkey. Monkey mind बोलते हैं ना, you have to understand how you manage this monkey mind. तो ये स्ट्रैटेजिक इंटेलिजेंस, ये डेफिनेशन स्ट्रैटेजी की कोई किसी ने नहीं दी होगी आपको. परफॉर्म एंड ट्रांसफॉर्म सिमिल्टेनियसली, एंड यू डोंट इवन थिंक कि मैं बस करता जा रहा हूं चीजों को. नहीं, आंख खोल के, दिमाग खोल के ट्रांसफॉर्म कहां करना है. आई हैव टू डू इट सिमिल्टेनियसली. दैट्स एन एडेड बर्डन टू यू. वो एसओपी नहीं कि एक ने किसी ने प्रोसेस लिख दिया, हम प्रोसेस फॉलो कर रहे हैं. प्रोसेस तो मशीन फॉलो करती है ना, एल्गोरिथम. व्हाई शुड ह्यूमंस फॉलो? ह्यूमंस डोंट फॉलो बाइनरी एल्गोरिथम्स. Human thinking is based on multilinear processes in the mind. Heart, body, soul. The body decides, not your mind. Now, we'll discuss once I maybe come later to you, and we'll discuss all that. So, strategic intelligence. You have to have transdisciplinary intelligence today. आपसे मैंने पूछा है क्वेश्चन कि आपने साइकोलॉजी पढ़ी है, ह्यूमन माइंड पढ़ा है. The point is that there is no excuse. You will have to read now. When you are dealing with AI, you are dealing with machine learning, you have to understand how does the human brain function and how does the reflective learning take place in machines. How do machines learn? Through reinforced learning process based on the human data, that data set that's available. So you have to understand that too. You have to understand psychology, you have to understand physiology, you have to understand physics. You have to understand quantum mechanics, howsoever difficult it may be. Because right now the advantage is, I told you, problems are many. आप कहेंगे हम कैसे पढ़ेंगे, हम तो फिजिक्स में तो मैथ्स नहीं लगाई कभी, हम कैसे मैथमेटिक्स एल्गोरिथम पढ़ सकते हैं? नो नीड, देयर इज ChatGPT, राइट? सो यू डोंट हैव टू बी एन एक्सपर्ट, You have to have a transdisciplinary understanding of things. You must know how to use technology. Don't become technology, by the way, what he warned you against. Don't become technology. So this is the transdisciplinary approach you have to have. You can't just say, I'm a person of physics, I don't want to do management, physics, chemistry, biology. You remain your emotional content. Don't become only rational and logical. For example, I'm fine. Thank you so much. आप टेक्नोलॉजी क्या करती है? टेक्नोलॉजी रैशनल होती है ना, लॉजिक. हम कहें कि बेटा आप सिर्फ लॉजिक पे काम कर सकते हैं क्या? यू विल फाइंड यू विल बी कंफर्टेबल जस्ट डूइंग लॉजिकली. दैट इज द आइडिया. इलॉजिकल क्या है? I don't say illogical, non-logical क्या part है? वो human part है, right part of your brain, creativity, imagination, love, your instincts. They may not, emotions, they are not rational. So once you become machine, that means you lose all that humanity. You lose your humanism. तो real modern person जिसको define करते हैं, modernity की definition ही ये होती है. Good that you asked this question. This is my favorite understanding of modern mind जो होता है, उसमें rationality भी होनी चाहिए, logic, plus humanism होना चाहिए. So I will say that you should not necessarily be Oppenheimer. I'm telling you, it may be a very hotly debated topic. Oppenheimer, people say, was brilliant, very intelligent. But what did he do? In my terms, the technology that he worked upon, he may have worked under any compulsion, because Heisenberg had already done something, Germany might have done, so he was instructed as a part of patriotism. But if you see large context of a nation or anything else, Oppenheimer's intelligence was used for adharma. There is still a debate whether Germany was really prepared or Japan would have surrendered without the atom bomb also, possibly. But President Truman was too happy having that technology that I want to bomb Japan because they had destroyed our Pearl Harbor. This is called Paleolithic emotions. Had he not done it, you know what the disaster it means to Japan, for people. And you don't know what has happened to the environment, globe. That 2 bombs that were dropped in the open. Coal tar गिर रहा था पूरे ऊपर से, acidic rain हो रही थी, black coal tar गिर रहा था नीचे. People who have pictured that. People are still suffering from genetic diseases in those 2 cities. So these decisions are not rational decisions. So don't become machine. He took a decision as a machine. You get my point? And we justified nationalism, end of war, there'll be balance of power. People have justified nuclear bombs, that agar nuclear bomb nahi hota, to war, we were thinking till now, that nuclear war aa gaya isliye deterrence ki power aa gayi, there's no war. But imagine the Ukraine, it's still happening. Ukraine war happened, na? Because Putin has become machine. You don't know what Zelensky is also up to. He would also is machine-like. आप बस react कर रहे हैं. You've stopped your power of response and you've stopped thinking like a human being. The transdisciplinary approach नहीं है. आपके पास Platonic intelligence नहीं रह गई. आपकी moral ethical values खत्म हो गई. आप machine बन गए. Do you get my point? So this is don't become machine. Which means don't become machine-like. Maintain your humanism. I will never call Oppenheimer a successful person. In my eyes, he will never be a great person. He could be an intelligent person, logically fine, very strong in science and technology principles, understood or misunderstood quantum mechanics. Because he created nuclear bomb. Once he had created a normal nuclear, he said कि atom bomb बना दिया, अब hydrogen नहीं बनाएंगे. What nonsense? If you destroy the world once, fully or destroy 10 times, does it make a difference? You have already destroyed it once by atom bomb. So these are moral issues. They are larger questions. There are no right or wrong answers. So don't say that I'm passing a judgment on that. Because there's an Oppenheimer की बात हो रही है आजकल काफी, so I thought I'll just share this, my perspective on Oppenheimer. जिसको हिंदुस्तान के सभ्यता में बोलते हैं अधर्म किया. धर्म के साथ, धर्म अर्थ कर्म और मोक्ष. धर्म के साथ सारा आर्थिक व्यवस्था होनी चाहिए, कर्म आपके होने चाहिए और मोक्ष तभी प्राप्त होगा. आपने अधर्म किया. Whatever it is, don't get into the nuances of spirituality. So that is it. So what I was telling you, I lost my thread of thought. I was talking to you all about Yes, additional intelligence, transdisciplinary intelligence. There is another intelligence called ecosystemic awareness. मैंने आपको अभी बोल दिया. Project drawdown. You have to understand. Otherwise, your all management knowledge will go to the dust. Because कल जब आप manager बनेंगे या professional बनेंगे, तो ESG, environment, social governance, and the kind of sustainability and governance of institutional governance will become most important for you. Your success will not be determined only by profits, but also the purpose you follow, whether you are ecocentrically aware or not. So ecocentric awareness bhi zaruri hai aapke. Ecological awareness. And then Platonic intelligence honi chahiye, not that Oppenheimer's intelligence alone. Platonic matlab, Plato ko philosopher bolte na. You have to have an understanding of philosophy, what is right and what is wrong. And then you have to have the intelligence of moral and ethics. Digital ethics की बात करते हैं जब AI की हम बात कर रहे हैं. So this is the context. This is a very difficult thing, but you have all the tools and technologies today to understand. You can just Google, you can find it out, you can do a lot of things, but the real problems today will not be the ones, the answers to which you will find in Google. Problem क्या हमारी है? Pablo Picasso कहता था, computers are all useless. You know, हम लोग computers को बहुत वक्त देते हैं, and very good. It has done great things. Computers are very useful. But Pablo Picasso, you know, Pablo Picasso कौन था? Painter, one of the greatest painters. He says, computers are useless because they have all the answers. In these times of VUCA world and BANI world, you have to answer the right questions, जिनके answer Google में available नहीं है. You get my point? And take it very seriously. You have answers in the Google to the problems that have existed in the past. I think somebody announced there that it's like the announcer, that lady who was there, she was announcing it, and while she was speaking, she made a very great point, that how do you solve the problems that are going to emerge, not the problems which have existed in the past. So this is why you have to think, you have to ask those, isko adaptive questions bolte hain. There's a whole context of adaptive leadership. You note it down, you must Google on adaptive leadership क्या होती है, rather than technical leadership. Problem solving and technical leadership. Adaptive leadership is thinking about the future, waiting how you adapt, upgrade, modify, and change yourself in the future to adapt yourself to this changing technology, this market turbulence, living in this VUCA and the BANI world. So I think, by and large, this is what I think. Does it make sense to all of you? Is it making sense to you? Yes. That you have done the right thing by coming here? Yes. Provided you do what I have told you. Maybe, because teachers will not have, they have limited capacity and time. They can be your drivers, but you have to be driven yourself. आज की तारीख में management is over. Management के days क्या बोलते थे, जो कि आपको carrot and stick दे दी आपको, आप दोनों तरह से follow कर रहे हैं. आज सेल्फ ड्रिवन होना पड़ेगा. ये सारी चीजें IQ, EQ, SQ, PQ, entrepreneurial intelligence, strategic intelligence, transdisciplinary intelligence, Socratic intelligence, ecocentric awareness, moral ethical intelligence, कोई पढ़ा नहीं सकता आपको. You have to understand that human is great enough. You have to come from within so that it stands from without. There is no external prop which is required for you. आपको स्वयं को कर बुलंद इतना. Get my point? Remember that phrase. This is what you have to do. Otherwise, you cannot plan. You have to prepare yourself. So there's one fundamental difference in the management days that we were doing and the management that is today. So you still call management sciences, but that is what you have to do. Now, before I end, in the last 5 minutes only, I'll take more than that. Does it make sense? Any questions you have? Come on, any questions? कि आप सब computers हैं, आपके पास सब answers हैं बस. Questions नहीं हैं? I told you, if you are computer, you will have all the answers. You are learned. You will inherit the planet that will not exist. You have to be a learner. So have to have questions. Always have questions in your mind. Maybe not to your teachers, to yourself. Am I doing the why, what, how and what? Why, how and what, तीन चीजें हर situation में पूछो. Why am I sitting here? Why am I speaking to you? Why is this dice set? What is happening here? You know how things change. There was just, Partho, a few days back, there was a friend of mine, and I still have thick hairs, by the way, but I lost my mother just about a month and a half back, and so naturally फिर हमारे यहाँ बाल कटते हैं. तो कल बात हो रही थी, he was still in America and he did not know about the death of my mother. And he was saying, Rajeev, how the hell do you have still the hairs? I'm 62 years of age now. And he did not know of my mother passing away. I just kept it cool. I said, there's no point telling him right now. I said, तुम आओगे तो बताएंगे. I still have the thick hairs. So you never know, and he just left 2 days before my mother died. And it's just about 10 days. So death, and of course nobody knows ever, but she was hale and hearty. Normal assumption was that she'll stay for another 10 years, at least. She was 86. The world has become so very, absolutely excruciatingly, upsetting for all of us. You never know what's going to happen the next moment. So live in the moment, do your best, ask the right questions all the time. Don't be a computer thinking that I have all the answers, I can Google it. Google has only those answers which are solutions to the existing past problems. So now the context, one thing, I'll leave you with this thought. So this was it. So अभी मुझे लगा जब मैंने फोटो देखी अपनी वहां पर, तो मैंने कहा लोग सोचेंगे आदमी बदल दिया क्या इन्होंने. तो आदमी वही है बेटा. There is nothing. So, but times change and your things change so fast, and you have no answers to many things. Fundamental. So before I end, I would like now, this is the most important of this, you have to understand. What is this AI? Will you have your job? Will you get your job? Will there be jobs? Will you lose your jobs to AI? This might be also an important question in your mind. So 5 minutes I'll just take to explain to you. No, you will not have. First, the bad news is that you will not have the jobs in future. AI will take away all the jobs which are programmable and predictable. Now you have to understand this. AI, the way it is working, किसी भी टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ 3 क्वेश्चंस होते हैं. जब भी कोई नई टेक्नोलॉजी आती है किसी भी युग में, एंड दिस इज बेसिकली अ फेज चेंज मोमेंट फॉर ह्यूमन हिस्ट्री. ये टेक्नोलॉजी ऐसा नहीं कि पहले चेंजेस हुए थे. एवरीथिंग इज बीइंग नाउ रीडिजाइंड एंड रीथॉट थ्रू. आपने फॉसिल फ्यूल वर्ल्ड वाज एक था, फॉसिल फ्यूल खत्म हो जाएगा. नॉट दैट इट विल स्टिल बी देयर, बट बोलते हैं ना ओल्ड एज, द स्टोन एज डिड नॉट एंड बिकॉज वी रैन आउट ऑफ स्टोन्स, but we developed better ideas. So this is how fuel will remain, but it will remain buried in the earth, and not necessarily for philanthropic reasons. There will be economic reasons, because sun, wind and renewable sources have become 80% cheaper than the fossil fuel availability. Still there's 60% being run on fossil fuel today. Aramco is still the biggest company in the world as far as market capitalization concerned, not Apple and Google, by the way. Biggest company is still by market cap Aramco. And the fossil fuel industry still develops, gets $2.5 billion per day. This is वो 6 लोग जो है ना दुनिया में. This is what's happening. So this is the reality. So I won't divert myself. So किसी भी टेक्नोलॉजी को जब यूज करते हैं तो हमें 3 चीजें आनी चाहिए. It gives us some responsibility, how to handle it. The second is that since if any technology gives you power, which AI gives, then there'll be an arms race between those who hold the power. And the third thing is that if this is not handled well and responsibly, what is going to happen? Humanity is going to get extinct. And I'm not telling this. Nearly 50% of the scientists, there was a survey, who are involved in AI, and this whole OpenAI and the chat format and Google and Bard and all this stuff, they say that there is 10% or more chance that AI will be the cause for human extinction. There is a point they call singularity, which is 15-20 years from now, 2040, where this AI will become super intelligent, more intelligent than humans, and it will kind of annihilate humanity. And we will become so dependent by then. We will become technology if we don't guard. Those guardrails are not presented to us. It's not made safe for human use. So that was it. So imagine, इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? इसका मतलब ये हुआ आप प्लेन पे चढ़ने वाले हैं. All of you must have traveled by air. ट्रेन पे चढ़े होंगे, प्लेन पे चढ़े हैं. आप चढ़ने जा रहे हैं प्लेन पे, वो वहां पर जो इंजीनियर्स हैं जिन्होंने प्लेन बनाया है वो आपसे कहते हैं कि एक बात बताते हैं कि there is 10% chance of this plane falling down once it takes off. Will you board the train or the aeroplane? Will you board, yes or no? Why will you not board? Huh? No, I'm not saying individually, but now individual you can commit suicide. And I'll take that risk. 90% chance है बनने का, 10% chance ले लेते हैं. But nobody will do actually. 10% chance. You know what is the accuracy level of an aircraft? 15 6 sigma. 15 sigma, not 6 sigma. 15 sigma level of accuracy है safety. Tub plane every by 1 in a million. 3.2 million में तो 1 6 sigma होता है. So 15 sigma की safety होती है. Anyways, the idea is that this AI, that the way it is used, is not safe. And therefore, there is a Future of Life Institute. They have given an open letter, almost 500 to 600 people, including Elon Musk and this whole ChatGPT and everybody. These guys have, Altman and all, they've all signed that we must wait because this technology has come too soon. It's too dangerous. We don't know what could be the repercussions. और repercussions क्या होने वाले हैं पता है technology के AI के? AI has a tendency called emergent capabilities. For the first time in human history, nuclear bombs, despite their being so complicated, everybody can't make, but AI everybody can make. That's the first difference. But nuclear bomb cannot create another nuclear bomb. AI can develop a better format of AI itself. It has that, and we can't just go on talking about it. You can all find it out, and I would request, please delve into these questions. Don't be just glamorized by the great things. Koi kehta, oh my God, what? Convert that what into a so what. I've given you a message. Don't get exasperated, excited about, oh, what? Oh my God. So what? That is where you have to understand technology. Everything that technology you can think intellectually left part of the brain, technology will do anyways. And you will lose your jobs if you continue to work like that, like a robo. If you learn like a robo, you'll never get a job. Now understand, there's a danger. So therefore, you have to now get to that start. And therefore, I started, there are no great peoples. Being human is great enough. You have that infinite potential to match the amazing technology and still be awesome human being. So future is all about making yourself awesome so that you can work around with amazing technology. And therefore, safety is something important. People are saying that let's have a 6-month break, and therefore ChatGPT 5 is not coming. Right now, they have held back. They said we must see emergent capabilities क्या होती हैं? Emergent capabilities वो होती हैं when AI works upon itself, it develops certain capabilities which the original creators of that technology did not ever plan for. Which means those emergent capabilities come in the AI, which could be dystopian, utopian, or protopian, either way. That is the reality, and this is the danger lurking. अच्छा, ये danger और ज़्यादा क्यों हो गया पता है? Because the first AI confrontation is not ChatGPT. Humans have already interacted with AI beginning 2007 and 8 when Facebook, Twitter, social media came. You know what is it? That's also AI now. What it has caused, that AI, we did not manage well. We let it come into our system without thinking. What will happen? Or business models जो हैं, Amazon के कहो चाहे Google के, they are all based on drawing your attention. Your attention is limited. So you know what has happened because of social media? We have been downgraded as humans. वो जो awesomeness है ना हमारी, वो खत्म हो गई. We've become downgraded. We have now been reduced to our Paleolithic mindset that you Wilson talked about. And this godlike technology, we could not face it. And you know what is the result of it? हमारा attention span short हो गया है. There is outrage, there is polarization, there is fake news, there is fake everything. There is a post-truth world that has come. You get my point? We have become so extractive in your, you know, what is it? They call it the race to the bottom of your brain stem. यानी brain को हमारे खत्म कर दिया. Amazon will force us to buy this, called persuasive technology. And we have not bothered to do that. Let's not do the same mistake with AI. This AI, which has a tendency to become by 1940, 45, 20, 40, 45, into AGI, that point of singularity. this is the most important question in the mind that should be there. That we have already, सारे misalignments हमारे जो social media की AI से थे, वो आज भी हैं, अभी change नहीं हुए कुछ. We are still dumb scrolling. You know, we buy things which we don't need. Social validation की need है. उसकी shirt मेरे से सफेद कैसे? ज़्यादा कैसे? You know, this is where human intelligence को cross नहीं करना है technology को. Human weakness को exploit कर रही है technology. And we have lost our sense of wisdom. We have lost that. We are that Paleolithic emotions हमारे, हम उसको regulate नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. Am I right or not? Social media has created those misalignments. Those misalignments are still there. And on top of this, this AI has become so deadly. That is the reason. That is the major question. जो revolution आज हो रहा है हमारे society में world over, there are three major revolutions that are happening. One is digitization, which will continue to happen, and you lose your job unless only human domain में आप सोचना शुरू करें. You have to use your imagination, creativity, instinct, intuition. Jeff Bezos says that I take 90% of my decisions based on my instinct. Now people will say, यार वो तो बहुत ऊपर पहुंच गया, अब कुछ भी बोलता है, gas मार रहा है. No. He says that as I have developed, I thought that I am taking my decisions on rationality, but 96% of my decisions are based on my instinct. Sam Altman said the same. And he quoted from Bhagavad Gita in a very different sense, not like Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer ने भगवद गीता को सपोर्ट किया अपने अपनी जो अधर्मिकता है उसको बचाने के लिए. The Gita, the shlok, that chapter 11 and 32 verse never says that I am all power. It doesn't say that I am the most, I am that powerful. वो काल हूं मैं. भगवान कृष्ण बोलते हैं वो एक समय है जिस समय मैं समय खाता है, not an individual. Oppenheimer used it very differently. So I'll not get into all that stuff, but this is exactly the reality that today. People like, they are all talking about dharma and adharma because I've told you. Why? That Platonic intelligence, moral ethical intelligence, again it has turned full circle. ये 10,000 साल से जो exploitative और extractive world order था जिसमें fossil fuel nature को destroy किया है, we are now moving towards a restorative and a regenerative world order. You have to solve reverse global warming. You have technology which can solve your global warming. You have technology which can solve the problem of hunger and poverty in this world. And the way technology is developing, its capability is going up. Cost is coming down. So we can live an American dream, all of us, you know, somebody assessed, at $250 per month only. $250 mein, you can live the level of affluence that an average American lives without damaging the ecology. So this we don't have time, but I'm just initiating you to this thought that the world in the future is going to be possibly very different, but nobody can predict. You have to start taking the decision now. If you don't, you know very well what these people have said, 50% of the researchers of AI, that there are 10% or more chances. They've also said 10% or more chance of the plane coming down. Don't board this AI unless you have created the guardrails, unless you have seen that before it is deployed to public, it's declared safe. कोई नया इंस्ट्रूमेंट आता है मार्केट में तो उसको टेस्ट करते हैं ना सेफ्टी के लिए. AI बिना सेफ्टी चेक किए उन्होंने डाल दिया. People are creating codes, bytecodes, they are creating disastrous things. You can get a PhD level chemistry knowledge based on ChatGPT's programming capability. You can know what cyanide could be, what are the various uses of cyanides, how can I kill humanity. But remember all the time, technology is dumb. Technology, some other, बोलते हैं ना लोग वो sentient हो जाएगी, conscious हो जाएगी. That is a very different issue. That's a philosophical question. Whether technology can ever become sentient. Because consciousness, there are different views. But the point that you must remember for yourself is that technology is very, very powerful. It can do practically everything that you think it can or anything that it should. We have to remain more wise. We have to retain our wisdom. So this whole amazing technology with awesome people. So you have to retain your humanism. So digitization एक revolution हो रहा है. दूसरा है sustainability के related, whatever, the green revolution. And the third is the purpose revolution also happening. That humanity में वही ethics, philosophy, all that, how can you create an equitable world? How can you create a world free of all these problems of climate change? And so your business ka purpose will not be just planet and people alone, a profit and people that now people say, but also planet as well as purpose. So the 4 P's instead of 2 P's. So you have to now have a growth which will be decoupled with ecological damage. That is the way you have to build it. It's not an easy thing. But, as I told you, problems could be many. But, what but? Do you remember what I said? There are many problems. Problems can be very big. But what are you? And what do you have? You have the capability to solve them all. So just be strong, be human, be awesome to manage the amazing technology. So thank you from what to what not. Thank you. Any questions you have? If you have any questions, please. Yes. अगर आप अपने को सोचते हैं हमें सब ज्ञान है, हम बहुत बड़े ज्ञानी हैं, हम जो कर रहे हैं करते रहेंगे, तो आप एग्जिस्ट करेंगे थोड़े दिन, जिंदा रहेंगे, लेकिन वो प्लैनेट डिस्ट्रॉय हो जाएगा. 490 पार्ट्स पर मिलियन 590 पहुंच जाएगा अगर आप कुछ नहीं करेंगे. तो यू विल कंटिन्यू टू एग्जिस्ट इन अ प्लैनेट दैट विल नॉट एग्जिस्ट. So that is the purpose, is that you have to be a constant learner, keep reversing the global warming. समझे? आप ये मत सोचो कि मेरी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं है, क्योंकि यूनाइटेड नेशंस कुछ नहीं कर रहा है. It's Project Drawdown, they are doing it. And they were called in COP27, by the way. And Paul Hawken and all these Nobel laureates did make the point, but there was no taker. क्योंकि सबको पता है हमको अपनी सरकार को, अपनी भारत को जवाब देना है. हमारे भी प्राइम मिनिस्टर बोल के आए कि 2070 तक हम जो है जीरो एमिशन करेंगे. 27 तक 490 कितना हो जाएगा? कितना हो जाएगा? 1950 से लेके आज तक में 490 हो गया 300 से. It will cross 590 and the temperature difference would be more than 3 degrees. World will burn. It's a problem which people know and don't know. They ignore. But you people don't ignore. You get your answer? हाँ बेटा, you said somebody was asking.
Sir, you mentioned that ChatGPT, AI and digitalization coming into the picture right now. ChatGPT, AI and digitalization coming into the picture right now. Do you consider the basics and fundamentals आज भी हमारे traditionals होने चाहिए या फिर उनमें कुछ updations की जरूरत है?
यानी कोई ट्रेडिशनल और मॉडर्निटी को कोई फर्क नहीं, दुभासी नहीं है वहां पर. आपको अपग्रेड, अडेप्ट, मॉडिफाई, चेंज करते रहना चाहिए. वो ट्रेडिशनल है, मॉडर्न है, क्या है, दे शुड बी राइट. डोंट गेट लॉस्ट इन वेदर ये हमारे पुष्पक विमान से रिलेटेड था कि नहीं. पुष्पक विमान था, आज है कि नहीं है, पर पुष्पक विमान का आइडिया है. कंटिन्यू विद दैट आइडिया, देयर इज नथिंग रॉन्ग इन इट. बट यू बिल्ड अप अ बेटर एयरक्राफ्ट, यू बिल्ड अप अ रोबोटिक्स, यू बिल्ड अप अ रोबोटिक रॉकेट व्हिच कैन टेक यू टू द एंड ऑफ द यूनिवर्स, like Pushpak Viman. So get inspiration from tradition, but don't ever be bound by anything. Don't get into right or wrong. Find there is a better way. हम लोग आधे से ज्यादा टाइम लड़ाई करते रहते हैं, सही है, गलत है, वो गलत है, मैं सही हूं. Forget about that. What is the right thing to do? You do. There is a better way to do it. Can you improve the situation? एक वायलेंस हो रहा है दो कम्युनिटीज में. Can you stop that violence? Right or wrong में पड़े रहोगे तो we'll get lost. There will be fighting and in fact both will destroy themselves. You know, जब लड़ाई होती है, ग्लैडिटोरियल वॉर होता है ना, you know, उसका नतीजा क्या होता है? एक आदमी 100% डेड होता है और दूसरा 99% आहत होता है. Does it serve the purpose? Do you think Russia and Ukraine can sustain this? This is what they're doing. Russian economy is going for a toss, and Ukraine anyways will be 99% crippled or 100% dead if they don't do something good. Or else it could be the other way around. So that is the point, you know. Don't get caught in ideologies. There is only humanism and pragati of this universe. Vasudev Kutumbakam. That is the ultimate principle you have to keep in mind. And that should guide you. Rationality नहीं है वो सिर्फ. जरूर, because यार rational क्या है, सही क्या है, गलत है, इसका अनुमान लगाना, इसका even, you know, that even to guess what's right and wrong is beyond our capacity. So don't be lost in these things which you cannot solve. Somebody could be right and I could be wrong, but then if it solved the problem, first solve the problem and then settle that difference. Does that get your point? Thank you. Anybody else?
Sir, you were talking about singularity, right?
So are you targeting that news recently came up where a girl married a robot?
नो अरे हाँ देखो ये बहुत अच्छा पॉइंट तुमने बोला. पूरी रामायण के बाद, रामायण करने के बाद आप पूछोगे कि सीता कौन था. Now the point is that beta, this whole idea, you are a professor here?
I'm a professor, SHRI.
Why? So I'm sorry, you've raised a very valid point actually, but the whole point was that don't get lost by a robo and all, marrying a girl, manning a robo and all. Singularity is that point in future, like drawdown. Drawdown is a point in future where global GHGs, the greenhouse gases, will reverse. The point in AI of singularity is that where it will become more intelligent than humans, which means it will have your emotions also possibly, or it can mimic your emotions. It may not be sentient. Scientists are saying that it will become conscious and sentient, it will know and advanced general intelligence. आज का जो robo है, by the way, जो AI है, chat GPT or anything, it is not a very advanced, it's a basically a dumb parrot. By the way, it is only intelligent assistance. You can use that intelligent assistance today. So you can marry a robo, you can do anything. Those are your fancies and whims. People will do all kinds of crazy things. But that does not prove that they are stupid or right or wrong or whatever. You're free to do. You can marry a robo, you can live with a robo. People are living. And you think that's your life. But is it human existence? Will I ever want artificial intelligence or robo to be conscious? Let them be competent, but human beings alone can be conscious. So that is the point. You get my point? So don't ever get this information. You have to develop your wisdom to manage it. ये तो बहुत छोटी चीज है, हम मैरिज करेंगे. These are all, tactical issues. But at the portfolio level, you have to be aware of what are the larger mega changes that are taking place within the digitization space, within the green space, greening space, and the purpose revolution that's happening. So you have to think that way. Thank you. I'm sorry that I took, too much time, but I got carried away, which I generally don't do, but
Thank you so much, sir, for being with us. And on behalf of JK and entire academic community, we extend our sincere appreciation to you for sharing your time and expertise.
Now, on behalf of our esteemed institution, I would like to request respected SHRI Partho to present our esteemed guest, SHRI RAJEEV with a small token of appreciation. A memento that signifies gratitude for your valuable time, expertise, and the profound impact you have made to the entire academic community. Thank you so much, sir. May it serve as a reminder of this memorable occasion and our admiration for your remarkable achievements.
I just want to say one thing. Nobody has achieved anything. In today's context, all of us are learners. We are still learning to walk. There is no runner right now. So all my past achievement, or any one of us, I can speak on behalf of anybody else, we have still to do. We have to unlearn, relearn, and keep on this cycle. Nobody has the luxury of saying, I have arrived. None of us. So more, senior we are, we have to unlearn more than you guys. So the good news is that you youngsters have to unlearn less. You guys are better than us. Anybody?
Now, let us welcome Sri Partho Pikar, Member of Board of Governors and Director of JK Enterprises Limited. He is an alumnus of SHRI, Jamshedpur. He is passed out from London School of Economics in Fellowship Program in Global and Global Governance. He has more than 30 years of experience in corporate world. Currently, he is director at Ellen Reinforced Plastic Private Limited. He has also been CEO at Madura Garments Export Limited and CEO at Pearl Global Industries Limited. He is also a board member at JK Tech and managing director at Brokers Enterprises. He has also been a director in Nebula 3D Service Private Limited. Let's welcome Sri Partho Pikar, Honorable Member of
So after that exhilarating session by Rajeev, we go back 3 decades, rather not 3, must be 4.5. We go back 4.5 decades, and it was very interesting. And so I actually don't have much to say except that I would like to welcome Dr. Mahapatra, who's a director, and from today he is going to be the Director General of our educational initiatives, higher educational initiatives. So he will now be stationed in Gurgaon, and he will look after both JK Business School here and our business school in Kanpur. So he will look after both of them, and they will all report to him. Thank you, Saroj. Richa, Dean of the institution here, Rajeev, very old friend of mine and a good speaker. He's had great achievements in corporate India. Dear professors, faculty, Dr. Tyagi, my old friend, Dr. Mehta, and all the staff members, and dear students. I don't have much to say because you have heard most of it. It will be too much of inputs on one single day, but I would like to share a few things about the JK group. That will bring in a sense of pride in terms of where you have come or where you are. JK group started somewhere around 1880. We are today about 140 years old in terms of our first unit, which came up in 1921. But that was the first manufacturing unit. But the family started business in 1880. They were bankers actually. So by the event of 1900, the bankers, the JK Bankers Limited, was the only bank in India whose hundi, which is bill of exchange of today, was accepted by the then today's State Bank of India. Then it was Royal Bank of England and Standard Chartered Bank. So we were the only Indian organization whose bill of exchanges were accepted by the then banking industry in India, rather globally. It was started by, J stands for Lala Juggi Lal. So J and K stands for Kamlapat. So both of them, father and son, they were bankers. From bankers, they started getting into manufacturing, and sometimes around 1921, they used to be traders of textile also. So they used to produce or import a lot of textiles, and influenced by Quit India movement and self-sufficiency of during that period, Kamlapat, both of them, father and son, decided to start a textile mill. So the first textile mill in 1921 was established in Kanpur. So since then, and they were into banking. National Insurance Company used to be a JK organization 50 years back when it got nationalized. We had banks, 2 banks which were part of the JK organization, and it was growing very fast. Sir Padampat, who was the son of late Kamlapatji, he is the main founder of the group. He was a man, very astute businessman, and was very strict, very highly disciplined, and under his leadership, JK Group became one of the largest group in the country, and we had some of the best companies, and it actually became what it is. It is bigger than what it is today. And then subsequently, we had these great companies, JK Synthetics Limited. They were the initiators of synthetic fabric and fiber in India. It became very good. Nylon tire cord, then JK Tires, JK Cement. Textiles, we were very big. We had JK Cotton and Textile Mills. Then we had Raymond's. Raymond's has become a big brand today. So then the family got divided into three parts. So one brother went to Calcutta, which was called the Calcutta family, one remained in Kanpur, and one went to Bombay. So Bombay is Raymond's, what you see in Raymond's today, J.K. Helen Curtis Raymond's, that is basically the Bombay family. The Kanpur family today has J.K. Cement, J.K. Technosoft, and J.K. Enterprises, and J.K. Cotton Textile Mills. So then again there was division. So our part of the business today is J.K. Technosoft, which is ITES company, J.K. Enterprises, which we are rebuilding. It used to be a synthetic fiber company, but today it has become a defense and digital manufacturing company. So it has completely changed, and it is growing fast. And well, this year we would probably take a few students from here in J.K. Enterprises, and we would love to take some of you in J.K. Enterprises. J.K. Technosoft has already got a collaboration with BCA. So they will like to come back to the BCA students and do some summer placements with the BCA students. So basically you have come to a place which has a long heritage. Every year we give a 50-year employee award, and every year there are 10 to 15 people who have completed 50 years. And that is the uniqueness of this group. So I think we have some of the finest schools with us. They are actually the best schools of their city. Get the right environment for you to learn better. As everybody said, I don't want to get into the nitty-gritties of academics, but I can only tell you two things. The first thing is, as Rajeev said, what, how, when. There is a theory called Porter's model of 5 forces. So if you are studying strategy, you take there must be a book called Competitive Strategy, Competitive Advantage, Competitive Strategy, both by Michael Porter. If you read, the basic framework of that is why, how, when. So that's the framework. You can analyze yourself under that framework and see where you stand today vis-a-vis your colleagues and others. So that's the second thing is, which is very interesting, is on our first day, I'm talking about the year 1985, and our first class in XLRI, like most of you today, there was one Father McGrath. He is no longer alive, but he's an institution in business management. So it was Father McGrath's class. He used to teach us basic managerial skills. The first class was that there were 50 elder students, senior students. They all acted like tribals, and they came and they fought with each other in the class. So the freshers who were sitting in the class, and we were the freshers, Father McGrath then came in, and Father McGrath stopped them, and they went away, and then Father McGrath told us, write what you saw. So all 50 of us wrote what we saw, and then he compared the 50 notes that we had made, and all 50 were different. All 50 were different. We all saw the same thing, and all the 50 of us wrote, and everybody was different. The idea that he actually, and I carry that idea even today, more so today, in the year when you have WhatsApp, he said that, see, as a manager, when you will get information of a particular incident from 50 sources, it is your skill in terms of understanding what could be the real thing, because all 50 sources will be colored. They may not exactly represent what had happened. So as a good manager, it is your job to really try to fish out in terms of what is the real thing. So my only advice and thought with you all would be, in this decades and in times of WhatsApp, where you get memes, you get various kind of fake information, you get lot of data coming into you in terms of millions, forwards, etc., etc. Do not believe in whatever you see. Go back to the drawing board. If you are seriously concerned about an issue, if it strikes you, go back and study in terms of what exactly it is. Because most of the time you will find that the context in which things come to you may not be the right context. what was said was in a different context, what you get is a different context. So as a good manager, as a good student, you must ensure that if you're concerned about something, go back, do research, come back with proper information. As was told to you, that you have to continue to be a learner all your life. If you stop learning, then you'll stop growing. And therefore, that is my limited advice, and I welcome all of you to this great institution, and I look forward to very interesting times for all of you, and enjoy yourself, but spend a lot of time. Don't use it like an employment exchange. Point is that most of the time, everybody uses a business studies as an employment exchange. And what happens finally is that you fail to use these 2 years to develop yourself into good human beings too. Somebody who questions continuously. So please spend time in knowing yourself better. Spend time in your library, study. Don't use this as an employment exchange. You will anyway get a job. Some of you will get great jobs, some of you will get good jobs, but everybody will get jobs. Now the point is most important, that spend these 2 years with utmost seriousness, and you will see that at the end of 2 years you will be a much better person. Jobs will anyway come. Don't worry, there are enough jobs for all of you. But what is not there is, if you lose this, waste these 2 years, you will never get this back. So that's my limited guidance, so to say, to all of you, and welcome to this institution, and thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We really feel inspired and enlightened with your words of wisdom. I encourage each one of you to carry the knowledge and insights gained here today and apply them in your respective fields. Now, we invite Professor Dr. Renu Verma, PGP Chair, JK Business School, for Thanksgiving and extend her warm wishes to our new students. She has more than 32 years of experience in academic research, held at many management and leadership positions in various reputed institutions.
Honorable Chief Guest, distinguished keynote speaker, our most valued invited guests, respected Director Sir, respected Dean Ma'am, esteemed colleagues, dear students, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm and heartfelt thank you to all of you for gracing us with your presence today on this momentum occasion of PGDM Orientation Day. We are immensely delighted to have all our new students, distinguished guests, faculty and staff members gathered here to make the beginning of this exciting academic journey. First and foremost, let me express our profound gratitude to our chief guest, SHRI RAJEEV Bhaduria, who took the time to share his insights with our students. Your experience and wisdom will inspire our budding professionals to dream big and achieve their goals. Thank you, sir, for your words of wisdom. We extend our gratitude to Shri Partho Pikar for being here with us and enlighten us with his vast knowledge and experience. Indeed, we feel extremely fortunate to have your presence on this occasion. My heartfelt thanks to Professor S.K. Mahapatra for sharing invaluable insights from his vast corporate and academic experience. Thank you so much, sir, for the dynamic guidance and leadership. You are a big source of inspiration to all of us. From the bottom of my heart, I convey my deep gratitude to our esteemed Dean, Professor Richard Dhaiya, and the management for their unwavering support and vision. Your dedication for creating a nurturing environment for learning and personal growth sets the tone for everything we do here at this institution. We are also indebted to the parents and the families who have placed their trust in us and in our educational philosophy. Your belief in our institution and your unwavering encouragement are the foundation of the success of our students. To the faculty members and mentors, thank you for being the guiding light for our students. Your expertise and commitment to impart knowledge and skills will undoubtedly shape the leaders of tomorrow. A special thanks to all our senior PGDM and undergraduate students who have joined us today. Your presence here adds a sense of reassurance to our newcomers, knowing they have a strong support system to rely on as they embark on this new adventure. Thank you for devoting your time and sincere efforts in organizing this event. Thank you very much for being our strength. I am also thankful to our administration event. Lastly, but most importantly, a heartfelt thank you to our new students. You are the reason we are all here today, and we are thrilled to welcome you to our close-knit community. Each one of you brings a unique perspective and talent that will enrich the fabric of our institution. As you embark on this new chapter of your life, we assure you that we are here to support and guide you at every step of the way. Your journey here will be filled with challenges and trumps, and we have no doubt that you will rise to the occasion and make us proud. With the PGDM Orientation Day drawing to a close, let us look forward to a year of growth, learning, and unforgettable memories. Once again, thank you to everyone present here for making this day so special. Wishing you all a successful and rewarding academic year ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words. Before we conclude this ceremony, let's stand in respect as we play the national anthem. Please rise and let the spirit of patriotism fill our hearts.
Thank you, everyone. Now I request everyone to have your respected seats. Congratulations once again to all fresh minds embarking on this exciting journey. Now we request our guest for plantation to emphasize our commitment to sustainability, followed by a group photograph to capture this memorable day in Govind Hari Lawn. Now I request all the students to assemble in Govind Hari Lawn for a group photograph. Thank you everyone for making this orientation truly special. We wish our new batch of PGDM first year students a successful and fulfilling academic journey at JK Business School. Let's continue to strive for excellence and make a positive impact on the world. Thank you and have a fantastic day ahead. Jai Hind. Students are requested to wait for a while.
Fantastic job, both of you. Good, very good job. And I stole from your idea. Good.
sing, not supposed to just stand and listen. Supposed to sing and listen. I think I taught you all very well.
Yes, sir.
क्यों फिर movement पे भी करे? Why did you